Since everyone, welcome back to Emnix Plays Path of Exile, Breach League Hardcore. Last episode, we got to the Solaris Temple in Act 3. We picked up our Empire's Grasp, so our reverse knockback build is ready to go. Today, we're probably going to try to finish up the remainder of Act 3. Yeah, no big deal. And then once we finish with that, I don't know, can we finish Act 3 today? We might have a longer episode than normal. Now, as you can see, our cyclone damage isn't all that good, which is fine because most of our damage is actually coming from our counterattacks. Oh, hold on, I'm getting a message. Getting a message from... Don't worry about it. So yeah, like I said, most of our damage is coming from a counterattack. The shield adds 250 to 300 cold damage per counterattack, which essentially is like a weapon in itself. So this thing, the physical damage, doesn't actually matter too much. If anything, the frenzy charges might be more important, since frenzy charges does affect how much damage gratuitous violence will do. Typically, enemies explode for 10% of their max HP as physical damage, but with our 3 frenzy charges that we have at the moment, we get another 12% more damage, so they would explode for 11.2%. That might not seem like much, but once we scale it even further later on, it's gonna be a lot better, I think. So today we kind of just want to test out the build, see which areas we can optimize. At this point, I think we're gonna be rolling with this probably all the way into Merciless. Obviously, we will have to change the weapon itself, and I want to get a surrender, but obviously, if you guys weren't aware, a surrender is like 300 chaos, you know, and we have like 10 chaos. We played for an entire month last league, or we played for all of January with our other character, and we weren't even close to collecting like 300 chaos worth of currency. So I mean, maybe we have to, you know, do one of those things where we just trade all the currency that we have for a surrender, and that might be worth it. Like, I don't think I would mind. Maybe the first thing I do is I pick up a Lionized Remorse. We use that, you know, maybe into late maps or mid maps, and then maybe by then we'll have enough currency to afford a surrender. And really what we want the surrender for is just more survivability, right? Surrender gives us a lot more life when we block. It gives us some form of damage that doesn't rely on Cyclone, and it also gives us like a crap load of armor. So overall, it's a really good shield, as everyone, you know, should be aware. But this league overall, there have been some really cool new items, I think. You know, Red Nightmare, Surrender, those top tier items. When they're good, they're really good, right? So, by the way, today it's just me. No Tree Goat, no Curtis. He is away. Or I guess this episode is just me. So yeah. Yeah. So, oh, I got the thermite. So with the thermite, let's give it to Diala.
You may go. We'll talk again soon.
And then we can continue to progress. Actually, before I progress, I kind of want to pick up the Docks Waypoint. That'd be kind of nice. It's a pretty decent leveling area. So let's do that really quickly. As you can see, we are still doing pretty good damage, and most of the damage, it comes from the counterattack, and it comes from letting these guys explode on top of others. So that's basically what we're doing. We have our own weaknesses, like corrupting blood would be really bad. We should really focus on making our flasks better. Getting some proper utility flasks, I think that might be key. And maybe that's sort of the next thing we look at, because bleeding will most definitely kill us, right, if we're not careful. So we need a staunching flask. Freezing can kill us as well, so we need a flask of heat. And then I don't know, the rest we just need more armor, right? Maybe we can get a jade flask and as well as a granite flask. Not sure if we need it, but we'll have to see. So now, as you can see, we don't have any skills that we can cast ourselves. Everything is on cast on damage taken, or curse on hit, or something like that. Oh. So knowing that, I mean, is there any point in having stuff in our hot? Everything is cyclone. Cyclone everything. Hey man. There you go. Dude, I invited a guy to the party. Did he reject it? I think he did. Oh well. Oh, these gloves are... Oh no, I can't switch gloves anymore. Certain pieces of equipment we just can't switch. Like, that's it. That's what we have for the end game. That's our best in slot. Our BIS. And those are the glove and the anvil. Maybe we can... No, I don't want to get rid of the anvil. It's too important. Look at that. Cyclone. Cyclone everywhere. I don't even need to use my left click and right click. I can just use the keyboard buttons. Any button will do. Because that's the only skill we have, boys. It's the only skill we have. I mean, we have auras, obviously. No movement skill. Nothing of that sort. Just cyclone. You ready, boys? This is it. This is what we're rolling with for the rest of the game. I find this so funny. And then yeah, two cast on damage triggers. Hopefully, I mean, if we don't ever cast it, that's like a good thing, right? That just means we're not even taking, you know, the 800 damage or whatever to trigger Tempest Shield, which is kind of insane if you think about it. Like, I'm not even taking like all this block. I'm blocking so much that we never even, you know, take what, like 800 damage, which is kind of what's happening right now. They're not actually doing anything to us. That's so crazy. Alright, let's try to drag this guy into something. Are there any mobs around here? Oh yeah. Let's drag him into Gravicius. Come, Gravicius. Would you like to climb stairs? There you go. Oh, there it is. Vengeance. Let's level that up. Alright, mission complete.
Dying in battle.
That was awesome.
The only honorable thing you've ever done, Gravicius.
You just hold down the right button and you just keep spinning, man. We're spinning all the way to victory. We're gonna spin to Merciless, boys. This is it. This is it. I found my dream build. I found it. I just need to hit flasks. I hold down the right button and I move the mouse. This... Boys, you don't understand how happy I am. We did it. We finally found the perfect build. It's the do nothing but hold down the right mouse button build. And watch things explode while permanently blocking. Obviously, once you get into late game bosses, Hydras, Guardians, things like that, they could become very problematic, especially if they have, you know, poison, degen, stuff like that. But I think for maps before that, maybe up to tier 15s, we will probably be okay. Unless there are way too many damage mobs, in which case, yeah, it'll be way too hard for us. But I think with this build now, we can really start going for those challenges. It's currently what, like January 20 something. How do we do against Cole? You know what, Cole? Just come with me. I'm gonna show you a whole new world. Oh, that kind of hurts. No, Cole, where are you going? Come, Cole. It's nothing to be scared of. Come. He died to Cyclone. Now the next one thing that we're actually kind of gonna need is Veil Breach, because there's gonna come a point where our damage just becomes so shitty with Cyclone that we're gonna have to rely on. The idea for this build is it's supposed to be used primarily for breaches, and what you do is you open up a breach, you pull everything in the breach along with you, and then you pull the boss with that with the stuff in the breach. And the idea is we keep blocking, and then our blocks trigger counterattacks, which are AoE. And then the AoE just happens to kill the boss while, you know, killing everything else as well. And then, you know, they all die to gratuitous violence. Like, we probably suck at killing ghosts and stuff. And that's to be expected. We still have decent damage, though. And once we get 100% knockback, you know, we'll have less problems with getting these guys consistently, you know, dragged into our vacuum. Now, someone might be asking, why don't you consider Veil Cyclone? Veil Cyclone seems a little too dangerous for hardcore. If this were standard, maybe I would consider it, but because when you use Veil Cyclone, you can't really cancel it. You can, but you have to like take the gem off of your equipment, and then you re-equip it or something. It just seems like too much of a hassle, and there's a potential for you to Veil Cyclone some really, really bad stuff. So I don't want to put myself in that kind of dangerous situation. But like, this is fine. This is fine. Like, if we run into trouble, we can maybe just get out of Cyclone and just start, you know, we pop up Quicksilver and just start running. Or we pop Arla Flask or something, right? But with the Veil version, it might not be as safe. So we are now getting ready for Piety. So like I said, I really think we'll be able to do Piety and Dominus today. Let's try for maybe an Axe. An Axe doesn't have like as good of a weapon range as a sword or a rapier.
What's up?
But it does have higher potential physical damage, which is, I suppose, what I'm looking for.
Stay out of the shadows.
Now we're really starting to pick up more currency, mostly due to the 6 sockets. You know, we're back we're back to living the dream of, you know, 6 sockets everywhere. Something's wrong with my keyboard, man. It keeps making like a weird noise. I hope you guys can't hear it. Okay, it's better now. One more level. So let's take. Should I take this? I should take the 15% all resist. Yeah, I haven't maxed my resistances yet, so this is pretty important. There. That's better. And you know what? Let's quickly look at our flasks, because we do need to deal with it. Can we use Divine Flask yet? No. Sanctified flasks are available. So I have a Sanctified Armor Flask, and increased recovery when on low life is okay. Although really it should be instant. But whatever. And then remove curses is okay. Removes poison I'm not crazy about. Do I have another granite? Maybe a 20% one? No? Okay, let's 20% this one. Okay. No. 15 charges is good. Nope. Nope. Okay, immunity to freeze and chill. Plus charges. That's okay. We do not need a mana flask anymore, obviously. So probably I want... What's a good flask? Let's see. Something that will make me tankier, right? A Stibnite flask? 100% increased evasion? I don't necessarily have evasion. Like I have a bit right now, but... And I have grace. That's right, I'm running grace. The Stibnite might not be too bad. And what would I need? I need to remove freeze flask. Okay. Let's go for Stibnite. Oh no, I do have remove freeze. What do I need then? I'm not sure. I'll know it when I see it. Reduce charges used. A reduced charges used Stibnite with 100% increased evasion and then 100% increased armor. Or 90% increased armor. That seems really strong. So 71, 50 armor. I pop a Stibnite. 12,000. Okay. I'm okay with this. I thought it would be stronger than that. I thought it would be like 300% or something. But I guess we kind of have armor and evasion going on right now. So I guess we don't get the full effects of either. Maybe? Okay. And really, Cyclone is just there. Cyclone isn't our damage skill. It's not our DPS. Yes, it has 2000 DPS right now, but I think our counter attacks actually are more valuable. Don't quote me on that. But like we don't have any gems on our Cyclone that increases damage. I don't think so, at least. We have Fortify, we have Knockback, we have Blood Magic, we have Life Gain on hit. They're all defensive jewels, you know? Like, we're not trying to be offensive with the Cyclone. We just want to drag things along until they eventually either die to the Cyclone or eventually die to our counterattacks. And hopefully they explode onto another pack, which will make them easier to kill as well. Like, you can see, once one thing dies, everything else just sets off like it sets off a bit of a chain reaction. See that? Although Cyclone really is, it's doing work. I'm surprised. Here you go. And the nice thing is, like, we're really tanky right now, I think. I have a crazy amount of armor. 7150. That's like merciless levels. And then once we get the Formless Inferno, it's going to be even higher. That'll be great. Now, one thing I am a little worried about is our resistances. It's really not looking too hot right now. An option is to get Doriani's Catalyst. Is that what it's called? Doriani's Belt, the thingy. Which gives like quite a bit of all resist. Also gives us some damage. Like, that's pretty good. And maybe that's the route that we take in order to get more damage on Gratuitous Violence. So if you haven't figured it out yet, this is a reverse. Like, I keep saying this over and over just so that, you know, maybe it sticks in your head or my head or whatever. Because I still can't define what this build is exactly. But it's a reverse knockback. Gratuitous Violence Gladiator with max block and a stupid number of counterattacks. That's basically it, right? It's basically the build. And then we just have to drag Piety. Like, Piety can't transform. She can't transform because we're just dragging her everywhere. Unfortunately, we don't have 100% knockback just yet. So it doesn't feel as nice as I would like. Like, sometimes she gets knocked out of our cyclone, which is a little unfortunate. Now, whether AoE is important or not, actually I don't think it's too important for this build. We don't care about the AoE. We just want to drag things in. Eventually, Cyclone is going to do so little damage that you won't have an issue where it's like, oh, before I get to the next pack, this pack's going to be dead. I don't think that's going to happen. So, alright. This is good. Looking good. This is looking real good. So we got some more HP. Probably want to get these 2 nodes next over here. And then I want to get some jewel sockets. So these 2 are probably the first jewel sockets I get. I am going to need 4 more jewel sockets in order to get max knockback. So that's quite a bit of maneuvering that I'm going to have to go through. And hopefully... Oh, I still have another point. Okay, so yeah, let's get this life point. What's the time? 21 minutes? Plenty of time. Let's go do Dominus.
Come to me, Exile.
No, I will not come to you, Karina.
Desire.
I refuse. You can't make me. Okay. Dominus. Thank God we don't have to do the trials again. Pretty happy about that. I'm so glad you guys like left a comment telling me that I don't need to do the trials. If I didn't know, I'd be ripping my hair out right now. I'd be like going to every single trial trying to get it done. And I bet you I would do like 4 trials and I wouldn't even realize like, oh, turns out I don't need to do it, you know? Come at me. This is going so well. Porcupines, bit of a problem. I don't know if we will die to porcupines. Are they spell damage? It's physical damage, that's for sure. And we have a stupid amount of armor, so maybe we'll be fine against porcupines. Yes, I do see essences, but I'm not gonna bother with essences anymore. Not with this build. It's too easily shotgunned, and I don't know the essences well enough to know which ones shotgun you. So I'm just gonna take the safe route and just not do
Climb the tower.
any
Kill
of
the
them.
Mad King. Just like the stories my mum used to read to me.
Okay, let's do a breach. Go like this. Open up the breach doors. And then I'll open up the champagne, because it's my house. Toll the toll. Oh, come on. See, I don't like that fact that he can get away from my knockback. We need to drag him close. Oh no, he didn't kill him. Okay, so still missing a little bit of damage. But, you know, we never went below 75% life. So the tankiness is there, that's for sure. It's more important, it's probably pretty important for us to get a decent life pool so that we don't get, like, we don't get one shot for the one time where we don't block. We don't want to die to that. But otherwise, things we need to focus on, block chance, jewel sockets, life. That's probably it. I mean, that's basically all we have to focus on. You get life, you get block chance. Like, you're not even looking at damage, you know? You're just relying on pulling in enough monsters so that they'll just blow up. That's what we're hoping for. Okay. All right. This is so good. This is so good. I am enjoying myself so much right now. Spin, spin, spin and win. What if GGG was like, so we decided that Cyclone is too strong and we're gonna nerf it. If you spin for more than 5 seconds, you're gonna get dizzy and your screen starts shaking. Like, what if they did some kind of bullshit like that? I think I'd be so upset. Like, GGG, why? You're giving me vertigo or some shit. Like, it's making me nauseous with your stupid ideas. If I were a game designer, I would do stuff like that. In order to make the game more realistic, we decided that if you spin for long enough, you're gonna get drunk. I could see myself doing that. I'd be the worst creator of all time. I would just add stupid ideas. We decided that Flame Dash isn't cool enough, so we decided to add Pasta Dash. You leave behind a trail of pasta sauce. Oh baby, I would use that skill all day. Oh, I said I would get some Cyclone MTX, huh? I mean, I should still do it. Maybe after this episode. I'm still on the fence. Still a little on the fence, but I mean, this is the one skill we're going to be using for the rest of the game, so maybe we should, you know, focus a little bit on it. I do have the option, you know, of getting a Lion's Roar if I haven't fully upgraded my knockback just yet.
Traveling light.
That could be an option. I'll have to see how much it costs though. I don't think it's that much. And that way, you know, should any bosses get away from... I don't know. Maybe I won't need it. For the most part, we're knocking back pretty well. I'm a little worried about Dominus, admittedly. We don't have maximum lightning resist, and we're gonna be like real close and personal to him when we fight him. So if he slams us, we might be in for a bad time. Like, I have no idea how much damage he would do. We have Fortify up. You know, we have a stupid amount of armor. 7,000 in Cruel. I think that's pretty silly. Oh, let this be a good jewel. That's actually okay. Physical damage with launch, projectile damage, and area damage. That's like really okay. Wouldn't this make for like a super good kinetic blast jewel? That seems really, really good. Holy crap. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how much it's worth. It might be worth something. Alright. I have no totems to drop, I have nothing. All I have is a spin. So come at me, Dominus. I ain't scared. Just knock them together. Pull them into this guy. Successful. Okay, let's pull this guy into here. Pull into you. You're just spinning, man. Spin all day. I'm just really scared of his slam. And why is it that he's not getting knocked back at all? I don't know how much that was. I don't know how scared I should be. Do I tank it? Do I dodge it? I don't know. Oh, okay, it hurts. It does hurt. So stuff like Dominus could be a problem. And you know what? A lot of it has to do with the fact that we just don't have spell block just yet. I had the choice of getting it during my Ascendancy, and I chose not to. And I picked Gratuitous Violence instead. Was that a smart decision? Honestly, I don't know. Maybe? If I can just get Cyclone on him, his lightning thing doesn't do too much damage. But it's still pretty scary. You need to die. Please. Ooh, that hurts. We're straight up tanking Dominus. I can't believe I'm doing this. Normally I would never do this, by the way. This seems so silly. It's incredibly silly. Hey, but we did it.
This world is an illusion, Exile.
I don't have a staunching flask. I realize that's the flask that I'm missing. So, if we bleed, we're just gonna have to hit him back even harder. That's the only way. Alright, here we go, Dominus. Look, single target. You guys might be looking at this build and go, dude, this character is awful. And you would be right. This character has like awful single target damage. It relies on like pulling other monsters into Dominus to do any sort of damage. Like their life, your minions are gonna be the end of you, Dominus. That's basically how it is. And you're gonna have to accept that. Good night,
A
Sweet
just
Prince.
death to address an unjust exile. I think we're even now, High Templar.
Yeah, Duelist. I hear you breathing heavy. You're ready for Act 4. We fucking did it. Honestly, the first stage of Dominus was harder. Like the big slams, they're a real problem. And I feel like Act 4 Malachi might be just as big of a problem. I might even consider running it in a party or something. I don't know if I will. Seems a little lazy. And I kind of want to do it myself, but there are going to be builds that just are not meant for single target, or there are going to be bosses that are going to be hard to do for us. We have great clear speed, or I guess AoE clear. Maybe not necessarily clear speed since we run so slow.
Some time in the mountains.
What
could be more relaxing?
But bosses, man. Bosses could be a real problem. But for these guys, you just drag them along. Someone in the front of the train dies, everyone else in the back, you know, they follow. And here you go. Pretty easy. This build is pretty straightforward, really. And if we miss anything, I ain't going back. I am not going back. This would be less of a problem if I actually had 100% knockback. If I had 100% knockback, they wouldn't be able to get away. Unfortunately, we're not there just yet. We're just at 70%, I think. So 5 more 6% knockback gems. It'll happen. What's the time? 33 minutes. There you go. So we killed Dominus in 12 minutes since we did Piety. We did Piety at like the 21st minute mark. It's currently the 33 minute mark. We did it in around 10 minutes. So that is pretty good. Pretty happy about that. Okay, I need to drag you over here. I'm quite sure the boss is here. The bird boss. So I need to drag someone else into the bird boss. Come here. Did that do anything? It did quite a bit of damage, actually. Alright, birdie. I need you to come. Alright. Herald of Ash, level, life gain on hit, level, level, level. Okay, so we stop leveling Tempest Shield. Stop leveling Curse on Hit. Stop leveling Warlord's Mark. And we just have to make sure to level, or to not level our next cast 1 damage taken. That's good to know. Over here, we have stop leveling Flame Golem, stop leveling Immortal Call, and stop leveling cast 1 damage taken. Okay. Good. Good, good, good. So everything is now on a trigger gem. And then we run Blood Magic on our Cyclone. Sweet. Now it's not gonna be forever that we run Hatred. I might drop it for something else. Let's see. I might drop it. I don't know what though.
I'm watching you.
Be careful.
Determination maybe.
Anything you need, just ask.
Okay.
Good
We
luck.
are now in Act 4. That's gonna be the end of this episode. This episode, once again, it's been pretty successful.
What do you want?
Dominus was a little
Go
scary.
where you are needed.
So we are gonna have to watch out for bosses, especially the ones who hit like pretty hard, and the ones who hit for pretty hard for elemental damage, as well as spell damage. We definitely do not block spell damage, but we can block most attacks. We have something like a 60-70% chance to block, 56% chance to block. It's not too bad, but obviously it could be improved some more. We're probably going to pick up Command a Shield, Shield Block, Shield Defenses over here after we get this node. Once we get these, we're going to get the Dexterity. Actually, no, we're going to get the Jewel Sockets first, and then we're going to look at the rest. But that's it for this episode. Thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, as always, you can leave a like and subscribe to my channel for more updates in the future. Otherwise, keep in touch, guys, and I'll see you guys next time. See you soon.